Hey guys, it's Greg. In this video I want to show you Knee Deep in Hexes, a prototype of a game that is going to be on a crowdfunding platform soon. So the game is a skirmish for 2 players with extremely simple rules, but I think with abundance of tactical options. So the game emulates, or it is a board game version of old school RTS games that we could play back in the day. So something like Command and Conquer, Red Alert, and so on. So if you know those games or you are interested in the skirmish title, just check out the rest of this video. As you can see, the game is set on a table. So this is Knee Deep in Hexes, a war game for 2 players. And now let me tell you what you can, what you are going to find in the box: board, minis, and a deck of cards, and basically that's it. So what you can find on the board: 2 tracks with resources for each of the players. So we have crystals and energy. Also, those symbols are on the board. So those are the spots where you can harvest those resources. On the top over here, you have a track of scraps. So every time you're going to lose some kind of unit or building, those elements are going to scrapyard, and they are not going to go back to your playing area. So if you're going to lose your units, they lost forever. I mean, you need to think strategically. There's no like unlimited pool of units for you. And also we have those trays, or this is the word, I don't know. And they are obviously printed on a 3D printer, so they're not working perfectly, but I love this idea, and I hope they are going to create something like this in a final product. In here you can organize all of your units. So this is all that you're going to get, plus those few things that are already on the map. And now the cards. So at the beginning of the game you need to choose 2 of your companions. There are 4 of them, and each of them comes with their own deck of cards, and each of them is working in a little bit different way. So we have tech, trickster, commander, and general. As you can guess, each of them represents a little bit of different way of playing. So you're going to choose 2 of them. The orange player also gets the set of those characters, but I'm going to use only the blue one. What else you can find here? So your starting resources, health of your headquarters, so 4, and asymmetrical abilities of your units that are going to be like a passive skill. And now those cards. So this is your basic card, that is a basic deck of cards. It's 9 of them. In here you're going to find action cards, those red one, and combat cards, war cards, that are those gray one. I will tell you more about them in a second. And when you choose your companions, you're adding to this deck of cards cards that are assigned to this specific companion. Then you're going to shuffle this deck, and this is the end of preparation of the game. So the board is empty, and you have prepared your deck of cards. Now, how the game flows. The flow of the game is very easy. I mean, the game generally is very easy. So what we have on the map. We have locations where you can enter. We have resources that you can gather. We have those mountains that are not passable. You are not enter them. And we have those yellow spots, which are headquarters, and with the health, the strength of your 2 companions. And this is it. Your units can be deployed obviously next to the headquarters or next to the factories when you build one of them, and then you can spawn your units next to this building. There are also those turrets that are adding you more combat power during combats, and extractors that are obviously extracting resources. So this is a very good spot, because 3 resources next to extractors, so you're going to get all of those at the beginning of your round. And the vote is very important. It's pointless to build 2, because you're going to get only 1 per square. So this one is redundant. Now, round of the game. So round of the game starts with this upkeep phase, where you're going to get your resources and your cards, nothing spectacular. And then we have action phase. And let me show you, because this is obviously a prototype, so I have everything in my rulebook. In action phase, you can perform all of those 6 actions how many times you wish, and the only condition is that you have resources to pay for them. So deploy vehicles. There are 3 vehicles in this game. This is the only one that allows you to build buildings, tanks, and palooza. The cost for them 1 to 3. The movement is 3 squares per 1 energy, 2 squares per 1 energy, and 1 square per 1 energy. And their combat power is 1 to 3, and the health is also 1 to 3. So when you're deploying your units, you just, as I said, you need to put them next to your headquarters or your factory. And this is it. Deploying vehicles, moving vehicles. Again, I already told you, you need to spend the energy and you're moving your units. And you cannot enter squares with other units, with buildings, and with resources, and obviously the mountains. So you need to remember that. Another action is build structure. So to build structure, you need to have those ACVs, those 2 miniatures, and you can build your building on a hex that is adjacent to 2 of them. So in this example, if they are standing, for example, here, you can only build a building in this hex because this only one hex is adjacent to 2 of your units. Those units are not disappearing, they're standing in this place all the time, so you can use them in your future turn, or in the same turn if you have enough resources to do this. And we have 3 units, combat units, and 3 buildings. This is all that you are going to get in this game. Now this is another action. So I told you about deploying buildings, building buildings. Now playing cards. So in a normal round you can play only those red cards. Here is the cost, and place an extractor on an empty field adjacent to one of your vehicles, even if it has no building ability, so something unique, without paying additional costs. Here you have place a factory on an empty field, basically the same thing, and turret also the same thing. But those 3 cards are your basic cards, but you obviously are going to get more specific cards with your companions. Like here, for example, your opponent reveals their hand. You may remove one of their cards from the game. So a little bit of a negative interaction also. Now, this is it. So you just need to pay the cost and play the card. You can also draw a new card and recycle your card, so you need to spend resources or energy, and then you can get additional cards to your hands, or you can swap cards from your hand with a new one from your deck. And those are all actions that you can perform. There is obviously also a combat phase, and for the combat phase you are going to use this token. So this token shows all players which sectors are going to be a war zone. So you need to put it adjacent to 3 different sectors. Sectors are those bigger areas with this thicker line around. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is standing in this place. So we have those 3 sectors in those sectors are going to be a war zone. And now I would like to show you how the combat works. So let's say a blue one put the token in here, marking that those 3 areas are going to be a war zone. Let's just say that those are not here yet. And what is unique in this game, and the game changer actually, because the combat is not going to be triggered immediately. The combat is triggered after your opponent. So opponent has a chance, there's a time for opponents to prepare to come to the war zone and fight a blue player in this example. And let's say I am the orange player came with those 3 units in here, and now let's go to the after the orange player activation, we are going to the war zone phase, to the battle. Now how it works: first of all you need to count the firepower of each of your units. So we have 1, 2, 3 because each of them has 1 power. Here we have 2, and this also grants you 2 combat power. So blue is 4 and orange is 3. But now let me show you those extra cards that each of the players can play, 1 per combat. they also add you some kind of combat power, but you need to create some kind of formation to use this card. So you need to make this pyramid, for example, or line, or those two units with free space in middle. So the orange player created this line of tanks like this, and thanks to this player can play this card with 4. So right now orange player, after playing this card, has 7 combat power. Blue player only has 4, and nothing can be changed with those basic cards. So let's say the outcome of the combat is 7 for orange and 4 for blue. Obviously orange is the winner, and now we need to calculate exceeding numbers over the combat power that was necessary to win with the blue player. So we have 7 minus 4. We finish with 3 exceeding combat power, and that means that those 3 combat power is going to be transformed into damage. And now the orange player can decide which of the units are going to be destroyed in this war zone. So we have 1 health, 1 health, 2 health, and 2 health. You need to assign enough damage to destroy the unit or building. If there is a 2 and you assign only 1, it obviously is not going to be destroyed. In this game you're not going to have some kind of health tokens to mark that something is broken a little bit. No, you need to destroy something in 1 blast. So in this example, one player, the orange player, can destroy, for example, the 2 of these, or maybe something like this, and those components are going to scraps. So this tactic was not the best for blue player, but this is obviously only an explanation. And this is it. This is how you're going to play the game. You're going to get new cards to your hand and perform those actions, and at the end of each of the activation of each of the players, the combat is triggered in the war zones that are marked with this token. The game ends when HQ of one of the players is destroyed, or when the scraps track is filled with pieces of one of the players. And this is it. So this is knee deep in Hexes, the game that emulates a little bit the Command and Conquer video game. This is definitely more simple, with less units, with less buildings. But the biggest value of this game is that, this is obviously a fun, but I want to say is that we have just a couple of components, some of cards, but in the end everything works just perfectly, and it is really, really fun to play this game. So knee deep in Hexes. If you like this title, if you like those war games, and especially that is only for 2 players, just check out the description below and you are going to find more information about the game there. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.